Best of 5 sets live coverage of the Virginia Slims Championship. Navratilova and Seles. Listen to the crowd.
And much of the crowd is already here. Oftentimes they're arriving late, but they're made sure they're here for Martina's support. We know the crowd's going to be behind Martina. And Arthur, you agree that Martina's first serve percentage throughout this match is going to be one of the big keys?
Yes, certainly, because Monica's return, first or second serve, devastating.
And so far, she's 3 for 3, and she's up 40 love. So that gives you an idea of how important the first serve is.
From that serve, and first game is history. 1 game to love, Navratilova. Monica Seles' first serve game of the match. It's 15 love. She has not lost a serve game in this championship.
And we spoke about Martina's first serve percentage, but Monica's going to be very important also because Martina's going to be coming in on most all Seles' second serves. So of all the 6 points so far, the server's gotten in the first serve every time and won all the points.
Game point, second game. One game more, first set. On Monday, a showdown in the West between arch rivals. San Francisco go to Anaheim to take on the Rams. 49ers, of course, are battling to stay alive for a wild card spot, and the Rams are out to avenge an earlier loss at Candlestick. 15 love. That's, of course, at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Now, Pam, why didn't Seles go for that shot? She could have gotten to it.
Well, I don't know. I was going to make a point, Arthur, how great Martina picked up the return of Monica Seles, and that just is going to be a huge thing that Martina's going to have to do all day long, is pick up tough first volleys off Seles' return. She didn't do it on that last point. The first point was a terrific half volley.
Moving to her left, right down the line.
Ooh. Saw a lot of that in the match yesterday.
Everyone was shocked how easily Monica defeated Gabriela Sabatini yesterday, 6-1, 6-1. Sabatini does not lose matches like that very often.
15-30. Miss hit just wide. Seles hesitating for a moment, but the call will not be overruled. 30 all. Second ace.
And Martina's still not missed the first serve. She's 7 for 7.
Another ace and the game to Navratilova. No breaks. 2 games to 1. We're on serve here. 1 game to 2. Seles serving first set. 15 all.
Now these two are the only left-handers in the field in this 16-woman field, so they haven't seen the lefty serve very much.
30-15. Monica Seles has not served a 100-mile-an-hour serve yet. She was 1 mile an hour short of that at 99. Her fastest. Navratilova has served a 100-mile-an-hour serve. Novotna and Capriati are the fastest servers of this championship at 106 each. Game point Seles. She lost the first point of this game, that's all. Game point. Two games all, first set.
We're going to see here Monica Seles tee off on a pretty weak return from Martina.
Yes, anytime she's inside the baseline and has a free swing at it, watch out.
Arthur, you made a point about maybe Monica didn't run like crazy for a shot a couple games ago, and I think in this match it is the only one of the year that the women play 3 out of 5 sets. There might be a couple of balls that you don't chase with the same gusto as you might, particularly early in the match.
Well, if this keeps up, the return of serve stats are going to be very interesting.
So the second serve stats, none. There won't be any.
Upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
You have so many options when Monica is right there inside the baseline. You can go upstairs, down the line, cross court.
Well, everyone knows that one of the shots Monica doesn't like to hit is the lob, so Martina probably will be closing much closer than she would against some other players like Capriati or Sabatini or even Graf, who lob a little bit more.
Could it be all?
One-handed.
Very defensive lob, and Martina puts it away. Game point, Navratilova.
There we see Martina at the net, and on this shot, Pam, Monica did use a one-handed forehand lob, which she lost, but nevertheless.
First double fault.
It was also the first time she hit a second serve, I believe, which is often the case. When, you know, this is now the 5th game of the match, and she hasn't hit a second serve. So no wonder she missed.
Another game point for Navratilova.
Martina's slice backhand stays very low, and Seles is not as comfortable off a low ball where she might even have to step inside the baseline.
Navratilova, we're on serve at 3-2. And the other turn with 80. On serve, it's 3 games to 2. Navratilova leads. The players have not been in a lot of trouble on their own serves yet. This is Seles to serve, trailing 2-3. Both players at 89% on first serve so far.
Well, Monica Seles' strengths are passing shots, a power off both sides, and mentally she's the toughest one out there. That's why she's number 1. Her weakness is she doesn't lob as effectively as she could. She's uncomfortable at the net, and the crowd will not be for her. Well, because she's not comfortable up at net, Martina tried the drop shot in that last point. And then, of course, the crowd, you heard them moan when Martina missed the shot. So there you see the last 2 of the weaknesses come into play on that last point.
15 all. Monica, it's so funny talking about her volleys and everything. She says, I dream about being a big serve and volley player one day.
I dream about being a big baseliner, too. I don't think it's going to happen.
I wouldn't change anything now after what you did last night, or late yesterday afternoon, winning the doubles with me. Wide.
Well, Martina's strengths are a serve and volley, attacking the opponent's second serve, and sometimes if Seles lets up on the first serve, Martina will come in on the first serve too, and the crowd's going to be behind her.
It's long, rather. Point Seles.
And Martina's weaknesses is if she's not confident with her second serve and Seles starts pounding away, you could see some double faults. Her forehand volley, when it's tight, is a little dodgy, and she's at a disadvantage from the baseline.
Monica Seles holds on 3 games all, first set.
Playing from the baseline where she's very comfortable. Open stance, left-handed forehand down the line. How's that for a description, Pam?
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're on the other side of the net, Arthur, it's very hard to read which way Seles is going. She's got such great racket head speed.
Oh, for either side.
Correct.
Great volley from Martina, who says that when she plays against Seles, she's the one player that Seles cannot hit the ball through when she comes to the net. Dirty love.
And that's a perfect location from Martina. She jammed Seles' right hip, which took the power away from Seles' shot. And Martina has terrific precision with her serve. And that's going to be a key if she can keep that up for 3, 4, 5 sets today.
Woo! Look at those two.
Very high. But a double fault, that's the second.
And you're going to see some double faults from Martina today because she knows if she doesn't hit a good second serve, the point's over anyway. And she hasn't hit that many second serves yet today. I think she'll get better grooved as the match progresses.
Another one, Pam? Sometimes they come in 2s, seldom in 3s.
Big point. 30-15.
Oh, good volley.
Gently over the net, and game point for Navratilova.
Martina was very brave with the second serve that set up this point. She made a great first volley and thought maybe she had that overhead away for the winner. These are the ones I always panic over. Pretty casual there.
40-15 and 3 games all, first set. Navratilova holds again, 5 aces so far. That's made a difference. It's 4-3 in set 1. In this championship, or in this match rather. One of the youngest spectators enjoying the tennis. Martina Navratilova was #1 in the world for seems like decades, and we asked her, how has Monica Seles handled being #1?
As a #1, she's had her ups and downs. Certainly she could have handled the Wimbledon situation a lot better. She contradicts herself a lot, but I think she's been good for the game overall because she's just different, and she likes the spotlight, and I think that's always good. You have a new personality out there, and it's just nice to have a change.
The change, of course, taking place in the spring of this year, and Seles was in little trouble in a couple of situations, but held onto it and is now firmly established as #1. She has a 40-love lead in this game, trailing 3-4 first set. Martina tells it like it is, doesn't she?
Every time. Martina made the comment about Monica being just different. Well, you know, Martina sort of has that same thing. People feel that she's a little different. Both appear not only on the sports pages, but they're news right now. They're very big personalities, and that's great for women's tennis.
Still game point. Oh, yeah. Two-handed swing volley for the winner and the game.
Now, Pam, how was that for a volley as we look at that last point again? Monica goes down the line, and here you would expect her to hit an underspin, nice chip, forehand volley, and swings at it from the service line.
And today in practice, she was serving and volleying. Sometimes she wasn't trying to come to the net in practice.
High-quality match so far. Good serving, especially.
Great serving, but again, that first volley, Martina was in all sorts of awkward position on the first volley, and she managed to dig it out. This is what she's going to have to do all day long today. Watch her get down for this. That is tough because it's coming fast.
Martina Navratilova more than double Monica Seles' age, but they both say that's not going to be a factor because of the great condition that Navratilova is in.
Well, the points are not lasting very long right now, and I think either player's en route to being tired at this pace.
A telephone just rang courtside in the press box, and Martina paused to make sure someone answered it. Maybe it's for her.
Against the top players, Martina has not garnered a losing record. Sabatini, she's way ahead, 13-4. She's also up against Graf Seles. They're even, and Capriati and her are also even at one apiece. Last time they played, Monica Seles, of course, lost. But it was, I guess, the two times before that at the U.S. Open. That was the big one in the final. Seles winning that match. That was wild.
Crowd wanted it.
Game point.
There's a second serve attack. The big difference about this match than at the U.S. Open was Martina's 3 lead-ups into the U.S. Open final were all 3 sets, as we see Seles take a whack at Martina's second serve. But remember, the semi-final win that Martina had over Graf at the Open was 7-6, 6-7, 6-4, which is a lot different than yesterday's 6-1, 6-4.
On the other hand, Seles, as we've already said, had herself a very tough semi-final as well. Craig caught in the middle. Billie Jean King is closest to you. They are both coaching Martina Navratilova.
So from 40-15 up, Martina now sees a deuce point. There was like a strobe flash camera in the back, right in Martina's vision as she went to serve.
Steered that one, didn't she?
She's getting nervous.
Well,
I think.
And that's also a big decision for Martina to make. With a deuce on a second serve, does she serve volley? Does she serve and stay back? So she hit a decent second serve, but she didn't feel comfortable at the back of the court.
There have been no break points until this moment.
Another match point against Capriati at Wimbledon.
But Seles came back and hit the passing shot, and she has the break unbelievably. 5 games to 4. She'll serve for the first set, and the match's most pivotal point so far, Pam.
Well, Martina hit a decent volley here, and she should have put this forehand volley away, but you could see she mishit it, and that opened up the court for Seles. Now here's the forehand volley. Can you see the racket? She doesn't make a good swing at it at all, and the crowd right now thinks Martina's won the point. Seles is chasing that one. I know she's got it. She's psyched. She's going to serve for the first set now.
Meantime, Seles has only missed 2 first serves, including that one, in the match. He's lost only 4 points on serve. Let me remind you again that she has not lost her serve in the championship, so she's played 3 matches without losing serve.
She's only lost 8 games.
And Martina broke her serve comfortably in Oakland a couple of weeks ago, fairly often, so I'll be surprised if she doesn't get a better groove on the serve.
Hit of the backhand side. Craig Carden says that he has been hitting her backhand topspin a little bit better, with not quite as much slice. But that one was a clear miss hit. Very low.
Martina made a great play. She realized she had Seles stretched out enough to Seles' right that she could sneak in behind the ball. Here it is. Martina plays a 3/4 court volley into the open court that gives her enough of an advantage to play the slice backhand volley. Okay, second serve, 30-15. Martina's going to try and get in on this one.
Down the middle.
Take away the angle. Whoops.
Oh, bad bounce, maybe. Or just a misjudge.
No, that looked like a bad bounce.
There are, exactly, Cliff. There are, I don't know what it quite is. The ground maybe underneath the Supreme Court that's a little rough, but there are some bad bounces often.
There's the first set to Monica Seles, the #1 player in the world from Yugoslavia, now living in Florida, just 17 years old. Best of 5 sets, though. And in this match, the only best of 5 set match that is played on the women's tour all year long. First game, second set. Live coverage from Madison Square Garden of the Virginia Slims Championships.
Pam, you know, 3 points ago you mentioned the tournament in Oakland, and we want to hope that the Highlands Club out there and Chabot Canyon crack clubs that were destroyed in the fire, that they'll rebuild soon and start playing tennis again.
And in fact, the hotel the players stayed in 2 weeks ago, the fire stopped just 100 yards from the hotel, so we all became very much aware of the tragedy out there.
I knew quite a few of the people who lost their homes.
Big serve straight low. He has somehow got to hit that slice serve into Monica Seles to keep the ball low and possible out of reach. 15-30.
One-handed.
2 big serves from Martina. She was down love 30 in the game, having just dropped the first set. She doesn't want to start this set being a breakdown.
Couple of reasons for that time when Seles got her nose out front in the semi-final. Boy, there was no stopping her. Something could happen there. That's why that's important what you just said.
That's right, but last year Seles won the first set against Sabatini in this final, then dropped the next 2 sets before winning the 4th and the 5th.
Navratilova helped to some extent in the draw of this championship with Steffi Graf losing in the quarterfinals to Novotná, and then Navratilova has never lost to Novotná, beat her yesterday in the semi-final. Of course, Navratilova also beat Graf at the US Open. Martina holds on, in trouble in that game, wins 4 in a row. 1 game to love in the second set. She lost the first. But when Seles only makes 2 unforced errors in a set, what can you do?
Right.
Feel like Martina Navratilova has got to just keep serving very well, and if she can, try to pressure Seles, and just as soon as she gets the opportunity, get into the net. Not necessarily behind the serve, but soon.
Well, lots of times the serves, the shortest shot Seles is going to hit in a rally. I would think Martina's going to try and get in right on this one.
Down the middle in the approach. You would like, of course, to have got that ball a little further wide. The problem with the player is that once you're committed to coming in behind a returner serve, there's really nothing you can do to recover. Big return for clean winner. 30-15.
Uncommon maturity for someone like Seles, only 17 years of age, almost 18. She lets it go, but I think she let it go because she thought it was going out truly.
Well, I would disagree. I would say that she just couldn't reach it. I think Martina's ball was right on that line, and maybe Seles was leaning to the other side. She usually chases most everything.
Seles holds on serve, second set. First set to Seles.
I don't quite understand that last shot of Martina's. It's hard sometimes to change direction. Seles' ball came from cross-court, and Martina tried to change it and go up the line. Maybe at 40-15 on Seles wasn't that big a point anyway, but those are the kind of points Martina's going to need to start winning.
Called wide.
It looked wide from up here, just barely.
Monica didn't like that call, obviously. Now she'll go right back down the line with her two-handed forehand. Tough to say. Oh, just dropped in.
Well, that's where Martina's lefty slice works against her, because her location was terrific on the serve. If we can see it bounce here, well, we can't see it bounce, but it was coming into Seles' body so she could reach it.
Ooh. That was right in her racket.
Yeah.
She only had to take 1/2 a step to her right. The ball was right there. Now watch the ball right in her racket.
It's interesting, you could see Seles actually hop towards the center of the court, but she recovered really well and moved to the outside and smacked it.
She's had some success with that wide serve. Into Seles' forehand, I suppose you could say she's two hands on both sides, but she serves with the left hand, so let's call that the forehand side. 30-all.
The control that Martina has on the half volleys like that is just phenomenal. And to do it at 30-all means even more.
I don't know. She did have to go for more on the second serve. Forget about the double fault.
More side spin.
Yeah.
She's hitting it with more top spin. Top spin will hop right into Seles' racket. Side spin will tend to skid away.
Top spin kind of stands up.
Well, especially on the ad court, because the ball will be skidding away. It's very difficult to put side spin down the middle. Left-handed now, Martina serving from the deuce court.
Oh.
Unless you ace your opponent on the other side.
Not a bad idea. 6 for the match.
Well, again, the big decision for Martina on the second serves is not only the placement, but whether or not to come in behind it or stay back.
She served an average of 1 ace per game. Pretty strong. Game point. Great volley, 2 games to 1 on serve. Second set will return with ABC's coverage of the Virginia Twins Championship. After championships from Madison Square Garden, live coverage, Monica Seles winning the first set 6-4, 2 games to 1. Navratilova leads in the second. That one is wide. It's 15 all.
And again, Martina made a great move to hit a 3/4 court volley. That time, her 3/4 court volley, she picked it off her shoestrings.
6 points in 6 service games. So pretty strong. 15 all.
The kind of points Martina was playing in Oakland. When Seles would not hit a big second serve, Martina would climb all over it like she does here with a big forehand back to Seles' forehand side. And we know Martina's backhand volley is not bad, huh, Arthur?
One of the best ever. Well, Martina is playing that backhand just well. Hers, that is. Underspin that keeps it low, no pace, making Monica generate all the speed on her own. But when she gets a ball like that at point-blank range, you can only sit and watch.
Comeback for Seles in this game. Game point.
One of the few games Martina's had even a little bit of a chance. Martina was up 15-30, but has lost the last 2 points, so it's game point.
That's long, so Seles holds on. 2 games all. She's had her chances in the second set. Martina getting a little delicate on her serve, but has been able to hold on. First set, just 1 break of serve to Seles. At 4 games all in the first set, she went through to win that one 6-4. Great volley. Are we going to take a 5-second pause to allow our ABC stations to identify themselves? Madison Square Garden. This is Navratilova serving to Seles. Volley is wide, 15 all at 2 games all, second set.
And Martina really should have done more with her first volley. She had it way above the net with her backhand volley, her favorite side. And she hit it firmly, but down the center of the court. She really should have gambled a little more.
Is she pacing herself? Because, of course, obviously, if she is to win now, it's got to go extra sets.
Well, I don't think she's got to go all out this set, because Martina, if she's down 2 sets to love, as we see her hit her an ace, and Seles doesn't like the call much.
Looked like it was good, though. I mean, I thought the call was good. Another good serve and game point. for Navratilova. As a matter of fact, Navratilova even hesitated a little bit after that serve, as if to say, well, if it was indeed wide, give him a chance to change the call. There was no change. Game point.
One of those slam dunks. Sort of an in-your-face, but it popped right into Seles' racket. Didn't have to move, just pirouette to her left and let fly.
I'm not sure I would have had that if I was playing doubles. If I was standing in the alley, I think that would have beaten me. Oh.
Still game point. Yeah.
Now, what's interesting is that when Martina lost her service game in the first set, she was also up 40-15, and she had the 2 game points. Exact same situation here. Seles cranks on Martina's serve, and it's deuce.
That was the first big return, and again a break point for Monica Seles. I say again because we've just been talking about the break point that she had in the first set. Here's an occasion where I really think that Navratilova should be serving 2 first serves.
Will she stay back?
In order for Martina to win this match, she's got to bite off a lot of break points, and here's one that she's got to do it.
Big serve, and she did.
That shows you a little guts. I really thought she was going to stay back on that one because she's been burned 3 times in a row.
And maybe Monica was leaning to her left because Martina has been slicing that one out wide.
It's a baby. It's funny, but it's not funny.
No.
This is the finals of the Virginia Slams Championships.
Yeah, but I think Martina can handle it.
Oh, no, I do think she could, but we should not have any babies in here.
Well, sometimes the biggest babies can be out on the court.
That's true.
Oh, well said.
Which one?
Well, yesterday I was a big baby a couple times.
Not that one. He's fast asleep, or she.
She just won't lob, will she? Exactly. That's the point I was going to make, is we see the promoters of this event, Sports Etc., Ella Mussolina Albert and Bill Goldstein, do a terrific job every year, and there are a lot of promoters like to have this field every year. Sold out yesterday and today.
They got to give me here the 16 best women players in the world come out here to fight it out for the championship. Navratilova holds on, some difficulty, but she makes it, and it's 3-2 on serve second set. Seles. This is the Virginia Slims Championship final match. Monica Seles taking on Martina Navratilova. Seles won the first set, is trailing 3-2, but we're on serve in the second set. Liv Drysdale, Pam Schreiber, and Arthur Ashe.
Well, and Martina keeps missing these second serve returns, and I feel like she's due to play a really good return game, and she just hadn't put it together yet.
Seles, on the other hand, is not getting too many second serves, or at least Martina's not getting a look at too many second serves.
Now, this is her second one in a row now.
You got to keep in mind, though, that Seles is left-handed, and no matter how often you play someone like this, it's just not the same. Instincts are not the same.
Open court winner, 15-all. Gabriela Sabatini.
And her brother Oswaldo. And tonight the big rumor is at the year-end dinner that Gabby's date's going to be Michael Bolton, the singer. So we're all looking forward to seeing that.
Will he sing for his supper tonight?
Well, Gabby likes to sing as well. Maybe they'll do a duet.
Big point, Seles down on her serve. That hasn't happened too often. 15-30 in this game.
One of the things as you get older, which I've gone through, we've talked about, is players fear the recovery, being pulled wide. They know they can't get back as quickly as they used to when they were young, and they start to cheat.
Winner from Seles. It's game point.
And Martina had to pick a direction here because Seles has Martina running all over the court. And on this one, Martina's got to pick, and she actually picks the right way, but
Doesn't matter.
Still too fast.
Big difference now in women's tennis is that the gals are just using the court so much better. It's not all cross-court to cross-court to cross-court. Down the line. Attempted cross-court passing shot, but you watch somebody like Seles, and as you said before, Pam, you just never know which direction she's going. So she's using every inch of the court, going for the line.
And these bigger rackets, Cliff, have helped the girls a lot. Hit the ball harder.
So again, Martina misses the opportunity to get herself a break point. She's not had a break point yet in this match.
Game point, Seles. Again or what?
Well, Arthur, I don't know about you, but I felt like Martina, after the net cord right here.
Swing away.
Well, she does, but I thought maybe she could have sliced it back cross court, and she had the angle. There's no way Seles would have played it. She chooses to hit over it and up the line, which I think she should have gone slice and back cross court. Hindsight, easy from up here.
That's true. I would have gone cross court and topspin. Net's lower, and it was wide open.
Well, I don't have topspin, so maybe that's why I would have gone slice.
ABC's college football this weekend, a holiday lineup that you won't want to miss. Thanksgiving Day, 7th-ranked Nittany Lions of Penn State take on the Pitt Panthers. Then on Friday, we continue another classic rivalry, Oklahoma and Nebraska. Then on Saturday, an intrastate showdown. 3rd-ranked Seminoles of Florida State battle under 5 Florida live at 12 noon Eastern Time. Thanksgiving weekend on ABC Sports. 15 love. Love 15 rather. Seles leading.
Ooh, now Martina's in some trouble here. Love 30.
I was about to say exactly the same thing. Martina's got problems now.
Well, you know, they've both had a few problems on serve lately. It was all Seles, wasn't it, in the first set with no trouble on her serve, but it has been tough on almost each serve game of Navratilova's in the second.
And that was a great volley, Arthur, because she kept it firm and up the middle and took the angle away from Seles.
You can see Navratilova would like to have slightly higher numbers, but those numbers are not bad.
Well, the big point, Arthur, is that if she misses the first serve, she's in trouble because she's only winning 40 and some percent. There's Craig Carden in the middle of this thing. Billie Jean King on, and the Seleses are behind them.
And Kathleen Sullivan is to the left, and she's been spending quite a lot of time with Craig Carden and Martina's coach.
Obviously, Monica didn't like that call.
I will, and Esther Seles. Parents of Monica. Another break point save.
Well, I don't understand why Seles is protesting so much. Usually, though, no matter who the crowd likes, if the ball is called wrong, you'll hear some crowd reaction.
Well, that trouble going on in Yugoslavia at the moment, of course, it bothers Monica Seles. They are actually fellow ethnic Hungarian. Break point again. 104. Has converted. Only one break in the match. And that make that again.
And I don't get what Monica is doing. I mean, I can't believe that you wouldn't swing at that serve regardless. If the linesman just barely missed it, you got to take a swing at it. That's ridiculous.
Completely agree.
The record will show 8 aces.
You swing first and ask questions later.
At the very least.
In particular on break point. I mean, that was just a really bad judgment.
Good serve, though. You know, she was looking for the wide serve to the backhand, obviously. She still could have swung at it, as you saw. Deuce.
Now, big decision for Martina, Arthur. Serve and stay back on the second or serve and ball?
I don't know.
A good play. She did come in, had to hit a hard volley, was at Seles' mercy, but she missed the pass.
Well, these are the kind of pickups Martina makes that nobody else would. That was almost like a cricket defense, the way she did it. Monica had the shot won until it hit the net.
Well, she was leaning to her right and said, oh, thank you.
The light of the crowd. Navratilova holds on. We are still on serve. Only one serve break in the match. It's 4-3 in the second set. 4 games to 3 on serve. Second set. First set to Seles. Best of 5 set. Virginia Slims Championship match at Madison Square Garden. Live coverage. Seles serve.
Martina would have felt she had a lost opportunity on that point. She was poised, ready to play the backhand approach.
Well done. $15 all.
Well, Martina gets herself to net here, and Monica chases down this, does a great job just reaching it, but look how quickly Martina moves in. And it's 15 all. You have a feeling that any service game now of Monica's, Martina's going to make a big move and going to threaten. She's yet to have a break point.
I think that's her best shot.
The forehand.
That forehand cross court. That
Well,
short
we'll see a bunch of players there. You got Virginia Wade to the right, Wendy Turnbull to her left, far left. Kathy Rinaldi with a funny hairdo with a red outfit in the top left-hand corner. She sprained her ankle the very first night here, Monday night. Had to default in the third set of the doubles.
30-15 in this game. Wide, 30 all. You also got to look at Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario and her mother. By the way, she was called Arantxa Sanchez. There she is. Until she won the French Championships. Then in honor of her mom, she said, I want to use her maiden name.
It's just to confuse everyone. A woman's priority.
Oh.
Great approach shot. And this is the first break point that Martina Navratilova has. It was about the same time, 4 games all. In fact, in the first set, that Seles got her first break. It's 4-3 now in the second.
And Martina's got to take her time, make sure she's not too over-eager, and put the ball back in play.
Oh, left-handed serve. Into the left-hander. She went into the backhand side. Bad bounce, maybe?
Well, maybe, but Martina tried to hit over it. She should have played a firm slice, a safe shot, get her into the point.
Great approach shot down the line. Another break point.
And I think she'll handle this break point better. Martina usually doesn't make the same mistake twice.
Navratilova will serve for the set.
Pam, how does Monica feel? No one here wants her to win.
Yeah, but she's number one. She's paid well to have no one want her to win.
5-3, Navratilova serving second set. She lost the first. This game, if she wins it, will even the match.
Well, Martina's got to play a great service game to consolidate to serve out this second set. But
do you think Martina thought that was a let?
I don't know. I didn't hear her complain. Maybe she did.
Oof. Well scored attempt is short, 30-15.
She's also getting closer to the net on her first volleys now. She's at least a yard and a half closer to the net for her first volleys, moving in.
Well, and the last first serve was 88 mile an hour, which gets her in a lot quicker than those ones that you serve at 96.
Set point. Craig Gordon says that she has to be committed. She mustn't play so carefully, so conservatively. And that's what you've seen from Navratilova today. The match is even 1-all. Best of 5 sets. The Virginia Slims final from Madison Square Garden. We'll be back. Okay, settle back. First game, third set. And the crowd. I don't remember being in a match other than like a Davis Cup match, for example, where the crowd have really got into things to the extent that this crowd here in New York has got into this match.
She was right there, trying to go cross court.
And now we come down to a best 2 out of 3 set match. So really the first 2 sets were warm up. They've been out on the court an hour and 8 minutes, and now it's a best 2 out of 3 set match.
Changing momentum in the match now, isn't there?
I think it all turned when Monica had the break points on Martina's service game at 3-all, and she let the one go that was called in by the umpire. Martina ended up winning that game and carried the momentum over to break Seles' serve at 4-3 and then served it out.
Game point, Seles. Monica Seles, 1-11, third set. We'll return with ABC's coverage of the Virginia Slims Championships. Madison Square Garden Virginia Slims Championship. Seles leading 1-love, third set, 1-all. Navratilova serving. Third double fault. They're getting more and more, aren't they? Those who have won Grand Slams titles before their 21st birthday. Monica Seles has got 4. Navratilova didn't, but she won a lot after that.
Well, Martina's first one was Wimbledon 1978, which was also my first Wimbledon, and Martina was 22 years old then.
Grant has won 9. Margaret Court from Australia 7. for a serve at 4. Two break points.
It's interesting. Maybe Martina didn't settle back down after winning that second set. She was very emotional after winning it. She hasn't played a good start of the third.
Only broken once in the match, Monica Seles. She has had 6 chances. There's another one. Not in enough time to do anything with the passing shot, and Navratilova has saved another break point.
Those half volleys on the first volley have really saved her. That one was especially deep.
Another break point for Seles.
And for Martina being a left-hander, she tries to serve out wide to Seles' backhand, and it's hard for her to get the spin going in the right way. It comes back into Seles' body, gives her an easier angle, easier reach. Oh. Martina thinks it's just as well that was a fault.
In fact, when she hit, even though it was long, you pointed out that she should have hit one that was called. But she should have hit and didn't. Lost it, cost her.
Martina's playing down the middle. Now she opens it up.
That is long. Martina knew at the minute that she hit the ball, and I should judge that it hit the line back there. She is not looking at the linesperson for a change in call. It is 2 games to love. Seles in the third set.
The Virginia Slings Championships. Brought to you by Fuji Cameras. Fuji, a new way of seeing things. And by the Milford Plaza, one of New York's finest hotels.
Seles serving at 2 games to love third set. So finally she got a second break after 8 break points.
And for Martina to win this match, she's going to have to fight off another 7 or 8 break points, if not more. Martina's won a lot of the second points on the Seles' service games, but she's got to start winning more of the first points. Get Seles down, love 15.
Cross court is wide, and it is Navratilova ahead in this game, 15-30.
Pulled up on it. Instead of moving forward, pulling up at the top part of your body. Oh, that was a good shot. Oh. How often have you heard when you were younger, Pam, bend your knees?
Well, at being 6 feet tall, I heard it a lot, Arthur.
On the return of serve in particular.
That's good.
And Monica, again, she thinks that ball is out, but she takes care of it anyway with a winner, but after the point, she let her thoughts known about the call.
Game point. So she is ahead now by 3 games to love with a break to serve. All of the points that she has come into the net behind. Navratilova 44 of 76 according to Leo 11 for 58%. But Seles has come in far fewer times. You'd expect that, of course.
Seles only been in the net 4 times. Martina comes in net 4 times in every game, at least.
Maybe on 1 point.
Seles doesn't allow that much.
We should have been here when Pam's driver came up after doing her opening from courtside. She said, "Isn't this great? The crowd, 15,000 people here in Madison Square Garden, best of 5 sets. It must make the president of the WTA feel great about women's tennis."
It does. Actually, yesterday, because it's sort of a super Saturday of women's tennis yesterday, with both semifinals and the doubles final, and yesterday was an absolute sellout. And today there's a couple hundred seats left, but still about 18,000, I think, is the about capacity.
$15.30. Martina Navratilova has 157 titles alongside Chris Evert. If she wins this today, she will overtake Chris, the all-time career singles titles won.
And Chris is watching this from her home in Aspen, Colorado, with her new baby boy, Alex.
Congratulations.
And husband, Andy, who's not so new. He's been around a little while.
Yeah, he was on the slopes most of the time.
You know, Pam, I really miss seeing Martina and Chris square off.
But what's interesting is 2.5 years or so after Chris Evert's retired, they're still squaring off, but off court on the record books.
83 to 87, take a look. Finals on 17 of 19 Grand Slam events. Single.
My favorite was the 85 French Open final. Chris hit a 2-handed backhand down the line to win it, 7-5 in the third.
Having said that, having said all of that, has women's tennis ever been healthier than right now?
No, but boy, it would be even more healthy if Chrissy was still out here playing, but we're glad she's got the little kid.
Oh, that's a good passing shot. Martina a bit flat-footed there. She's really not guessing when she's at the net which side Monica's going to go to. She just stays there. You see, she doesn't fake.
Exactly right, because when Monica has such a shot like that, she's not going to hit it down the center, so you've got to go one side.
Game point, Navratilova. By the way, talking about 157 titles, going for 158. Jimmy Connors has won 111. He's the winningest player, current player. Leva won 142 in his career. He's won 2 Grand Slams. Game to Navratilova. So Navratilova would be the winningest player, man or woman, of all time.
I hate to think how many doubles titles through the years she's won, and that's something that doesn't happen so much now. The younger
Martina
top
won 91
doubles.
Yeah. So
oh, that's a good shot.
A lot of them were used there.
A few of them, yeah. Well, Martina's got choices on her backhand return. She can either hit over it, slice it, or hit it flat, and that one was pretty flat.
And she pulled up, but she didn't hit it with topspin. She hit through it with her racket face relatively open.
Mm. 15 all, by the way, let me correct that, not 91, 92, because you two won this tournament last night.
That's right, it was our 2 years. It had been a long time since we'd won a tournament together. Ooh, second ace for Monica Seles.
I was checking some stats on YouTube the other day, and you were WTA doubles team of the year 8 consecutive years.
Sounds like the fix was in. Martina was right there. It would have been below the level of the tape at the net. This match now, 1 hour, 24 minutes gone.
30-all.
Two questions, Pam, in just a second, about Martina getting tired. And the other question, Pam, is Seles normally in a 2 out of 3 set match would be looking, if she wins this game, at being 2 games away from winning the match. But that's not the case today.
Well, Martina might get a little tired, but this crowd will help her in the final stages of this match. Martina said at the start of the match she didn't think it would come down to a question of physical fitness, that they both would have enough to stay the course.
But if you looked at last year's final between Gabriela Sabatini and Seles, boy, they were both sweating at the end.
That's the whole idea of 5 sets, though. I think everyone sweats in the 5th set.
Well,
unless you've run out, unless you've run out of sweat.
You could play some 5-set matches at Wimbledon where the points are very, very quick.
That's true.
Here's another break point for Navratilova. Percentage-wise, she's in much better shape. She has broken only once, but has had only 2 chances. Seles has broken twice, but has had 8 chances. There's the break. So we're back on serve, and we come back. It will be Navratilova to serve, trailing 3-2 in the Navratilova. But we're back on serve in the 3rd set. Seles got the first break in this 3rd set, but was in turn broken.
The perfect jam serve from Martina. Location was huge, as we see her scores from last year. Winning the 1st set, dropping 2nd and the 3rd, coming on strong in the finish. I think, Arthur, the fact that Monica played that match last year and went through one of these, I think it'll help her today. So even though a 2 out of 3 set match, as you stated, she'd only be 3 games away from winning, she knows she's got to win a lot of more games, a couple more sets.
In this game in 1984, Martina Navratilova won more money than any athlete in the world except 3 boxers, over $2 million. And that record stayed true until this year, and Monica Seles, by virtue of being the #1 player in the world in the bonus pool of 500,000, has overtaken that. There's Billie Jean King, Craig Carter.
And something to remember about Martina's record-breaking year up till this year was that $1 million of that was given in one big chunk by the ITF because she won all 4 Grand Slams in the 1 year, in 12 months.
The longest point of the match so far. Got Monica talking to herself in English.
Game point.
Yeah, I'm sure Martina's glad she won it, but she doesn't want too many of those long points either.
Pam, let's say that again. You said that she won all 4 consecutively and in the same year. She didn't, in fact.
Yeah, it was in 12 months.
Right, 12 months, but not in the same year. Now that's game to Navratilova. We are even 3 games off, so she's never really been credited with a Grand Slam, legitimate Grand Slam, and it's sad. There it is, 84, 85. That's what we're talking about. It was, she won them consecutively, but not in the same year. Don Budge did back in 1938, Maureen Connolly, In 53, Labour won it twice, in 62 and 69. Margaret Court in 70, and Steffi Graf, the latest, in 88.
And it was Helena Sukova who, down in Australia in December of that year, they put a stop to it. The score was about 7-5 in the third, a very dramatic match.
But it was a semi-final match at Johan Grass.
Martina said that's the one match in her career that she has regrets over.
And then Chris won the championship that year down there. It's good.
Well, that was a difficult shot. Martina did get her racket on it. Now watch this. She just drops it barely over, and Monica comes up over the highest part of the net and loops it in. That's not easy.
No, and Monica had great instincts. As soon as her ball hit the net, she knew Martina was probably just going to play the little bloop over the net.
30 love. 40 love. Seles holds on. We're on serve 4 games to 3. Third set. 1 set all in this best of 5 sets. Singles final.
But getting the AIDS virus doesn't make you here. It's what you do after you get it. And so far, I think Magic's done a great job. I think he can help raise millions of dollars and hopefully find a cure. And maybe we'll find it in time to save him as well as millions of other people that are infected with it. So I applaud him for his efforts so far, and I hope that it works out for everybody.
Very delicate subject, and of course Martina Navratilova, having said what she said, had no idea that it would cause the ruckus that it did. Love 15.
Ooh. Meanwhile, she's trying to create her own ruckus right here. One-handed, that one, Pam.
Yeah, you can't say it was a bad serve.
No, it wasn't. She was just there.
Up 30. And now 3 break points for Seles.
And Seles read that serve perfectly. As Martina struck the serve, Seles was moving.
She was almost in anticipation.
She's only broken twice. She's had 8 break points. This will be number 9. She has 3 in a row.
Oh, this hit.
One is all she needed, and she has broken and will serve for the third set. Pam, you said before this whole thing started that one of the strengths of Monica Seles is the fact that she's so strong mentally.
Just that, and you talk about another great competitor looking at Billie Jean King, but Monica Seles is a money player. I mean, that U.S. Open match when she beat Jennifer Capriati, after Capriati served for the match twice, Capriati didn't really lose that match. Monica Seles was just so tough.
I'll second that. That's that much in awe of the ability of both players. Tremendous.
And that match was the greatest slugfest in the history of women's tennis. Capriati and Seles this year. It was amazing.
Seles had a tough time at the Australian Open this year with Mary Jo Fernandez. He was down, and of course Mary Jo eventually lost that match. She also won the U.S. Open. She won the French Championship. Had a tough match actually in the final with Sanchez Vicario.
Well,
Two interesting games back to back.
Break point.
Triple break points.
First time both players have had love 40 on the other one's serve.
One save.
Now this is where Martina's got to be careful because she let Seles dictate that play, and I don't think Martina got herself mentally set.
Shouldn't Martina slow down, or she just wants to keep
Exactly.
playing?
Well, I thought she should have walked away on that last one.
You know, guys, I don't agree with you. I think she has really, when she gets the chance, got to go for it. I don't think there's any sense in just getting the ball in play. I think this is, to some extent, what she's doing differently.
No, I was saying the tempo. I was just saying that Seles likes to play the point in about 10 or 12 seconds.
I agree.
And Martina's got to really make sure that she is so 100% ready for these points.
Break point. One-handed forehand is not enough, and Navratilova has broken back. It is 5-4. We are back on serve. 4 breaks in this set alone. Well, this match has been full of magic moments so far. Here was one. The last game, Navratilova had 3 break points, didn't win the first 2, and then this happened.
And she made the delay approach shot. Snuck in behind a good forehand, and that made the forehand volley into the open court relatively easy. But when you're fighting off, trying to get a break point back at 5-3 in the third, nothing's easy.
Okay, 5 games to 4. Seles leads. Navratilova serving to try to get even in the third set. 15 love.
Now, anything can still happen in this match, but this third set's now starting to take on a pivotal position here. Maybe the winner of this set is going to be the winner of the match.
That's dangerous.
Well, that was a sitter. It was shallow.
It was only 75 miles an hour.
Yes, and very little side spin. You've got to take Monica away from the court.
But then it's a problem because you do create the
An angle. Yes.
So sometimes it's a catch-22, and that's what Martina's got to mix them up. Sometimes on the second serve, stay back, so you keep her guessing.
Why wouldn't Martina vary her serve position behind the baseline? She hasn't yet to move more than a yard at most away from the center service mark.
Well, and that's a good point. That's something Andre Agassi has done in the last couple of years. Sometimes he serves way very close to the alley.
On the ad court.
15-30, crucial point. And the volley mishit is good enough.
And again, Martina finished that point. Her nose was over the net, and Seles has not hit an offensive lob yet. Now look how close Martina can close. Whew.
But even though you know your opponent doesn't lob much, you're still afraid to close too much.
Good. Martina puts that one away, and it is game point.
It wasn't that easy of a shot because it really wasn't a high overhead. Those are the kind of shots that are awkward, and the lights here at the Garden can get in your way.
That's right, at 3/4. You've got to bend your knees, even at 35 years of age. She got down for that one. Well, I hope she didn't touch the net before the ball bounced twice.
Good win called. And that is her 10th and wins her the game. And she was in all kinds of trouble again, trailing in that game, but holds on. We're dead even 1 set all and 5 games all. Love. Seles has been to the net only 5 times. She hasn't lost any of those points. On the other hand, Martina, as you can see, has been into the net over 100 times. 57 wins.
And now, after all this time, only 4 points. 1 separates the two. Seles 94 points. Martina 95 points now. To 90 for Martina.
And at the start of this set, they both had 61 points.
Now.
One of Martina's favorite approach shots. Instead of a rolling forehand cross court. To most of the time right-handed opponents.
Called long.
It was long.
Game point. Martina doesn't like the call.
And Martina always looks over to her coach, Craig Carden, after a close call. And that was close to Craig's baseline. And often the player looks for a coach just to have a little reassurance that, yes, in fact, the ball was long, or sometimes a coach has a little doubt.
But the last thing Martina wants to do now is turn the crowd against her.
Well, I think Martina would have to do quite something to get the crowd against her.
That looked long. Looked long.
It does? Close. Looks close.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would have thought that was on the line. 6-5 on serve, third set. We'll be back.
Women and food beating the obsession Tuesday at 11.
Navratilova serving 5-6, third set.
And in this game, Martina has the most amount of pressure on her serve. She's down 5-6. This is where the advantage of being the person serving up in a set is huge. Now, that time you saw her make a pretty bad error off her forehand volley, which is her weaker side.
Love 15. Love 30. By the way, this is Martina Navratilova's last major championship until Wimbledon next year. She is not going to play the Australian Open. She is not going to play any tournaments on clay, so that puts her over the French championships. She has about 7 exhibition matches that she's going to play between now and December 12th. With Seles, Capriati, and one with Zina Garrison. She says it's too much tennis. Three set points for Seles now.
Well, Martina is now slowing down indeed. Well, both to think about, to sort of rehash things, and to put a little hesitancy in the mind of Monica Seles.
Set point.
Yes, right in the corner.
That's 11 aces.
Slow it down, Martina.
That serve is at 96 miles an hour. Seles had one in her last service game at 100.
Oh, well played. Closed in very well. Solid volley.
Sam, does this now go wide to Seles' forehand? This serve?
I think I'd jam her. I think I would jam the backhand side of Seles. Get that spin, that lefty spin into the body. Try and handcuff her.
Oh, she did not listen to you, Pam. She also didn't get that wide swing left-handed serve wide enough and paid the price. The set is over. It's 2-1.
Well, and what I'm trying to figure out is if indeed she was trying to go wide or was she trying to jam her, because that was right in between.
Well, the reason I asked the question when she did go wide is that usually in situations like this, no matter how good you are, you sometimes revert back to your favorite play. And that, I think, is her favorite play in that position. She's been very successful with that serve today. I thought she might try it again. As we see Craig now worried. She's down 2 sets to 1.
Well, Monica wanted to call on the first one, which looked to be a little bit wrong. She certainly felt like she's had her fair share of bad calls today.
Yeah, but it's everybody's like it. Everybody thinks they get all the bad calls. Moving Martina, she went sideways, but she didn't cut it off. And so literally she was backing up a little bit when she hit that volley down at shoestring level.
I think you've got to hand it to these officials. They have done an outstanding job. The standard of officiating has improved 1,000,000% in the last couple of years.
And that's a big percent, though.
It is.
They must have been horrible before.
No, but you know, in the days of decades ago, they used to pull people out of the stands and put them on the line. Now, these are all now real
Pam's too
professional.
young to remember this.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Well, Martina's going to have, if she loses this game and she's down 2 game points now, she's going to have to really talk to herself on this changeover and get herself psyched back up to play a big 4th set.
Yes. Oh, what a shot. Clean winner. And Monica Seles, the #1 player in the world, leads this.
Obviously, she's going to have more because she's a more aggressive player. That's normal for her. She's going to make a few more errors because she goes for her shots.
Of course, we've talked about how many more times Navratilova has been to the net, so this is a match of contrasted styles. Oh.
I have been most impressed in this match so far that neither player has been able to really get a roll going.
No, but Seles is poised here. Martina's got to be very careful. And in order for Martina to get back in this match and win it, she's got to pick up her service, first serve percentage, and get back to serving a lot of aces. She needs free points. Because if she's got to battle from here on out, it's going to be tough. So remember, if Martina's going to win this match, it's going to be in 5 sets. Seles can win in either 4 or 5.
Yep. I couldn't agree with you more. This is the time for Navratilova to make a move. She has got to stay aggressive. There is nothing to do but to try to take it to Monica, and that's not easy.
Because remember, at the U.S. Open, as we see Monica hit that 2-handed backhand up the line for a winner, at the U.S. Open, they had a tough first set tiebreak, 7-6, and then Monica Seles rolled 6-1.
Now, Pam, tell me Martina's not a little worried about being 35 years of age, knowing she can only win this match in the 5th set.
Well, I don't know. Martina amazes me. I don't know what worries her out there. She knows she puts in the hours of training more than anyone, and she still feels at 35 pretty fit. Very fit.
Oh, that looked good. Just inside the sideline.
The other hand, Monica Seles says that she started a weight program as well. She had herself tested, and that she says, well, I'm not really fit for an athlete according to the statistics, so I've got to get in better shape.
No, I just win. Not very fit, but I win all the time.
Well, a lot of the players talk about the fact that Monica doesn't look like she's in that good a shape, but she's so darn good, she hasn't had to be in tremendous shape.
Does that remind you of somebody else, you know?
Well, McEnroe. What about in the olden days? He was so good. But if she's going to start becoming more of an athlete,
a situation like this, the only other time here in the city, at least, and being a New Yorker myself, I see this is the New York City Marathon. And the crowd really pulls the runners through, especially those in front.
That is just wild.
Pam, you talked about Martina's finesse and dexterity with those half volleys. Didn't been down on that one, but
It was close to a brilliant shot.
yes, it was very close. That's my point I was going to make. She almost pulled it off. Martina seems to have a little bit of a tendency when she's nervous to pull up a little prematurely on the returns.
She's only served 2 double faults, Seles. And she served a very high percentage of first serves in the match. 80%. That was a second serve. That was the first serve for the second serve.
That's her 4th ace. And that's called when you're up 2-1, 2-love, 30-15, let her rip.
So Seles holds on, and she is in control now. 3 games.
A couple of defaults. Elena Sukova to default her singles match against Mary Jo Fernandez, but now Martina, this is make or break game for her. She loses this game, she cannot win the match. Down love 4.
She could, but highly improbable.
Right. Love 30, so she is in a lot of trouble on this serve game. I fully agree with that. Not only because it's one thing to get the breaks back, but the worst part is that she's got to keep holding serve, which is tough under these circumstances. And Monica Seles is now playing very, very confidently. Which is bad news for Martina Navratilova.
Well, you said she's already assured of the $500,000?
Monica is,
Yes, Monica, right.
She finished #1 in the Kraft General Foods points total at 5,605 points. Steffi Graf was second. Over 1,400 points behind her. Martina finished 5th.
Sabatini is 3rd and Sanchez Vicario 4th. Picks up 1542 break points. Interesting if you check the statistics on where the winners have come from these two. Forehand, 24, over 2 hours old this match now. Backhand for Seles, 27. So almost all of her winners have come from ground strokes. Martinez, on the other hand, only 2 of them have come from ground strokes. Oh, there's the break, the second break.
Monica looks like she's in a hurry.
4 games to love.
I know this is Sunday, but Macy's is still open.
Talking about the shopping deal, because a lot has been made of that.
Right. That's it. Yes. Why not? If you're 17 years of age in her position.
In fact, she's not a shopper, she's a buyer.
Right. Not only is it open, it's only 1 block away.
Madison Square Garden on Manhattan in New York City. Live coverage of the Virginia Slims Championships. Navratilova's only won 5 points this set.
And you knew that 3rd set was huge, but she just never did get herself back mentally from the disappointment of dropping that set.
Ooh.
She can still rally. You know, it's interesting. If she breaks here and holds, then Seles could get a little nervous. You never do know.
Long 1530. By the way, she can afford to go shopping. Forbes magazine estimated this year that Monica Seles' earnings for last year were $7.6 million. 1.6 from tournaments and then bonuses and fees, and a reward for becoming #1 estimated at $6 million. Which was a bigger number than any other tennis player, man or woman.
Of course, those are all estimates. Who really knows?
Indeed.
Now the crowd. They're trying.
Unfortunately, they can't run for you.
Deal.
I have seen, though, the crowd, other than Davis Cup matches, really win a match for a player. I mean, I think Connors really fed off the crowd at the U.S. Open.
And actually, Martina did too. She
Yes,
had those
yes.
all those tough 3-set wins in the round of 16, quarters, semis.
And when Virginia Wade won Wimbledon in '77, the Queen was there. The only time she's been there in about 30 years.
And she hadn't been back. She must have had a good. She must have had a good time though. Come on.
Deuce in this game. Third double fault in the match.
Maybe you're right, Pam.
Well, Martina knows that she needs to break here.
And the reason that I agreed with you about that it's all over by the shouting when you said last game that if she got the second break it would be over is because it's one thing she may lose her serve, but she is so confident now on Martina's serve. Game point.
Oh, a late call, but
That's long. The call will stay. 5 games to love. 2 sets to 1. Monica Seles, #1 in the world, is closing and 2 sets to 1. Playing against Martina Navratilova, trying to win her 158th. Which would be a record.
and some record it would be. Won her first pro title back in 1973.
Ready, love?
Normally, Cliff, we would put a player's 5-set match record up on the screen. Don't have very many of them to put up, so we don't know what they've done in 5 sets.
Reflexes from Seles.
Martina manages a smile, knowing that she almost got away with pirouetting to her right, all the way around 360 degrees, 270 at least. Now watch this. If we get the other side, we don't. Now, she will turn to her right, all the way around, 270 degrees. Get a racket on it, but couldn't hold it.
Winner on the return of serve. It's 30 all in this game. Could be the last game of the match and the last game of the year on the women's tour.
I know what everybody's thinking. I should be so lucky at 35.
This is match point. Called long, and this championship is history. Monica Seles will go into the